Hi guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome to the start of a brand new campaign series here today on the channel. We're back on Total War WARHAMMER II. The guys over the Creative Assembly were kind enough to send me a free early access code of the Warden and the Paunch DLC. It will be available on the 22nd of May in Australia. I'll put in the description below the Steam page if you would like some further information. So, huge thank you to CA once more. So guys, if you want to see more content on Total War WARHAMMER 2, the best thing you guys can do is to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on, let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions for the series and where you'd like me to expand and conquer. If you don't like myself or Total War WARHAMMER for whatever reason, feel free to leave a dislike. That's why the button is there for. We're going to be playing as Eltharion the Grim, the Prince and Warden of Tor Ivres. We're going to be playing as the High Elves here today. So depending on how well this series does, I could definitely see myself playing as Warden the Paunch or Imric in the future. So support it and I'll do more Warhammer content. So playing as Eltharion the High Elf, we start off in northern Ivres near the Shifting Isles on the eastern shore of Ulthuan. Our race attributes, we have intrigue, of course, we can spend that in our court influence. We have espionage, trade agreements along with line of sight, and we have martial prowess as well. We are immune to barren wasteland attrition. We have a +8 leadership for spear infantry and ranger units, along with a +8 for melee defense. So we have 3 new additional starting units, the first of which is the White Lions, which we've already seen in the trailer. They look very cool. We have an Arcane Phoenix, a mythological phoenix in High Elf society, and we've also got access to the Silverin Guard unit, a high quality spear unit. Please do take into consideration, guys, that I am using a early access copy of Warden and the Paunch, so if any bugs or glitches arises, they are still ironing it out before the official release. So mentioning that, they haven't fixed up the starting trailer just yet, so I can't show it, but I'll show you guys the official trailer, because I just love the music in it, and then we'll get stuck right into the campaign. I'll see you guys on the campaign map for the Warden and the Paunch DLC.
It has been many years, but this city will never be safe. Not whilst he is still out there.
We'll show them pointy ears! We'll show them all! His immensity, his enormously, has returned!
We've just warm it up!
A storm comes to Ulthuan. It is my duty, our duty, to endure.
It's time we give the pointy heads a proper fight!
Stand with me! For as long as I still live. Tor Ivres will never fall! Somehow, the greenskins have returned to Ivres. The rotten stench of their dung piles hanging thick in the mists. Could they be a harbinger for the return of the bulbous Grom himself? If so, our darkest nightmares may be realized once more. I should have destroyed him all those years ago, along with his foul shaman. The other princes of Ulthuan are scattered and distracted, embroiled in the eternal conflict with the Druki. It is likely we will stand alone in our struggle. At least for now. The greenskins are not the only threat to Ulthuan, however. Pirates have also penetrated the mists and sailed the shifting isles with impunity. We are faced with a dire threat. The greenskins seek to ravage Yvresse and all Ulthuan, putting the Vortex at risk. As the Warden of Tor Yvresse, I shall face them with ruthlessness and brutality. The fate of the world is in my hands.
Okay guys, how you doing? Welcome to the campaign map. Let's get stuck into the Eltharion High Elf series. So you're most welcome to pause and have a read of how they play. But basically the main mechanic we have as Eltharion is to rebuild Athel Tamara, which was the ancient city that Warden the Paunch destroyed when he actually killed Eltharion's father and brother. So throughout this Let's Play we're going to have to rebuild it, getting various bonuses and unique units to invoke the mist around Tor Yvresse. As you can see here in Athel Tamara we have access to prisoners which we can interrogate, execute and swindle information out of. The main objective for this series is to unite the 10 elven kingdoms, both outer and within. We want to unite Ulthuan under a Tor Yvresse banner. That's what I'd like to do. So, if you like the sound of that, support it. So in Athel Tamara, as you can see, we can spend various upgrades. I'm actually going to upgrade the Watchers of Yvresse, getting a bonus here. And a blessing. You have to hit 100 before you can hit the Vortex victory conditions and fight the final battle against Warden the Paunch, who, yeah, is the final battle for Tor Yvresse. So you're most welcome to pause, have a read. Okay, let's dive into some construction. I think upgrading our militia camp to a rally field is probably the best, so we can get access to some Lothorn Sea Guard. Landmarks wise, we can upgrade Tor Yvresse. Early on, getting our economical viability is probably the play. So here is the building chain for the various new units that we have access to. The Arcane Phoenix, of course, and the new access to the various high magics. The Sword of Cain hasn't been occupied. We could go after that, but I don't particularly think Eltharion should go full an Aryan. We'll try and unite with as many of the major high elf factions as we can. I'd love to get Tyrion on side, but being the heir of an Aryan, he might sort of want to keep his independence. I think the main and most significant faction we should confederate first with is Eltharion, the Everqueen, and get access to her Sisters of Avalon. As you can see there on the left, there is a bit of an amber texture glitch, so once again, please do take into consideration that I am using an early access build, so I've been assured that that'll be ironed out before the final version, or it should be, it's in the works. Okay, so currently negotiating where we can, maybe getting a peace non-aggression with Norska, that's gone through. Safri in the middle, they're not interested. The Scourge of Cain. Would Grom even be interested in a peace? No, he's not. Salt Spike's quite next to us as well, but diplomacy wise, nothing overly too much we can do just yet. Now, in 150 turns, Grom will arrive, and we're going to have to deal with his invasion and incursion. So, 150 turns is plenty of time for us to unite Ulthuan. But once we do that, let me know in the comments, where should I go? Should I go north to Nagaron, attack Nagaroth like Eltharion did historically? But when he left, Warden the Paunch sacked the city, so we don't want to be there too long. Or maybe we should go south to the Badlands. We've got our first battle here today against Gribrit's Black Bog. We have the Battle of Tor Yvresse, and we have access to the Warden's Cage. And we're going to be seeing some of the new units here today as well. So we're going to be looking at the River Trolls. They're a new monstrous unit. We've got the War Lions here for us, along with the Arcane Phoenix. 2 units of stock standard archers, and then we have 1 unit of Eltharion Guard as well. Now, Eltharion is a really interesting character because he gets access to a griffin in the late campaign, like Carl Franz's griffin. His is called Stormwing Eltharion, but he's a very sort of limited mage, and he's more or less a fighter, which is really quite cool. He does have his own unique sword as well, like Galmoraz. Okay guys, welcome to the battle map. Let's get stuck into it. We've got a 22, so let's start the deployment. I'm not going to gamble that away. So let's make a strong, long front line with my 3 units of infantry and my agent noble there. He can sit there. Archers can be made in the second rung, and I think putting the War Lions on the right is probably the play. We'll pull Eltharion probably on the right as well. Make sure my heroes cover the flanks, because I want to get them in the fighting, in the action. So we've got a magical missile we have access to, and we also have burning gaze. So here are the units for the Warden and the Paunch DLC. So here's the beautiful, magnificent Arcane Phoenix. I like to call him Fawkes. It's Guy Fawkes up there, I guess. So here are the Tor Ivres Spearmen with the banner of the eagle on the front. And here are the War Lions, of course, further at the back, with their bearded beards. It looks so cool. And then here we have the man, the myth, soon to be the legend, the Warden of Tor Ivres. Let's push over and have a look at some of these green skin units. We've got some spiders here, some orc boys. Pushing further over here, we've got some gobos, and then black bog. Here are some of the new river troll units as well. Ugly, menacing, scaly. That's what I like to see. They look like they've just come right out of the Black Lagoon. So we'll push back to our army now, and let's get stuck into this one. Let me know as well, army builds, because it's been quite some time since I've done a Warhammer 2 campaign. I want to get a good, decent lot of Sisters of Avalon. Also, with this new DLC, we do have access to different types of mages, so I definitely want to try and grab myself a mage from the heavens and fire. I'm pretty sure, from what I can remember, fire and the heavens are my 2 favourite and the best that we can get access to. We can't get access to the, of course, Vampire Counts mage roster. So we'll try and rotate where we can. The Lions pushing the right flank. Archers ready as well. So gear-wise for Eltharion, he has 3 pieces of unique gear, which you can get throughout doing various quests. He has Fang Sword of Eltharion, which is kind of similar to Galmoraz. He has the Helm of Ivres as well, and the Talisman of Hoeth. So he does have some limited and cool magical properties, but he's more of a sort of fighter. That's the way I'm going to deploy him throughout this series once I get the Griffin Stormwing. Alright, looks like the gobos are just sitting further back here. We'll try and push up where we can. Maybe they'll charge when my archers start raining fire and death upon the gobos. And my Arcane Phoenix moves up, but we're trying to drag some of their arrow fire away. I'm going to get my archers to focus all their firepower upon the river trolls, as if anything is going to break our ranks, it's more than likely going to be them, the monstrous beasts. But we've got to be careful as well. they do have flanking ability through their gobos. But it looks like they're taking a bit of a battering early on, holding their line as we attacked them. If their river trolls take a little bit more casualties, they're probably going to charge. And they are now. Okay, hold the line, men. Alright, let's deploy my Arcane Phoenix on the left, because my war line's on the right. So they're charging in now with their spider hatchlings. I still think continuing to focusing your fire upon the river trolls is the best bet. Now what we want to try and do for this fight is capture the enemy general. And that's what you really want to be doing for the majority of the campaign. You actually want to be playing a lot smaller battles, because unfortunately, I don't know if it's deliberate, I probably should ask, you can't seem to, in this version of the DLC, you can't seem to capture enemy characters in an auto-resolve. You have to do it on the campaign map. So the front line is charging me now. So to get the 100 blessings, you have to get the heroes and legendary lords low. Then you can drop the warden's cage and capture them into Athel Tamara, interrogate them, and get information. And you can execute them as well to get buffs. So we'll try to do that here. We'll see how we go. Okay, my front line is holding for now. Their buff is really hitting me here. Oh, it's not too bad. Alright, so our war lines already are taking a bit of a battering. They are a monstrous unit after all. Okay, you're still holding here. Try and get my archers to continue to fire upon the river trolls. My Arcane Phoenix is doing quite well, pushing up over the top and back to isolate and disrupt their skirmisher fire. Come on, let's bring down these river trolls. Bring them down, bring them down. We've only got our hero holding them there. Okay. Our war lines on the right are not holding up against the gobos. Okay, the river trolls are now running. Try and rotate and get you further around here. These spider hatchlings are flanking and absolutely ripping to shreds my white lions. Okay. Ah, I've done a misplay here. The bar was over the wrong indication. I've read that wrong. Oopsie. Simpzy did an oopsie. Simp did an oopsie. Great. I thought he was on low on health. Now, you only get one cage opportunity. Although they stick in place, it's actually probably not too bad if you even care about the... Generally, you just want to kill him and get the talisman. But now that we've deployed that, we can't capture him. Ah, that's so unfortunate. I wanted to show you guys the interrogation stuff for this first battle. No matter, we will have more throughout the campaign. I do plan to do a full Vortex victory for this series, and there will be an upload tomorrow as well. So we still seem to be holding for now. Let's focus a lot of our firepower on him. But Eltharion there, with his lance and sword. It's quite cool that he has access to Stormwing and a huge lance as well. Hey, victory! We have victory here today. Let's run down the remaining stragglers. Well, if we can't capture and interrogate you, let's rip you to peaches? Oh, God. Let's rip him to shreds there. Black Bog is running away, sand flying everywhere, and Eltharion the Grim, the Prince and Warden of Dor Ivres, or Ivres, stands to fight. The helm really invokes imagery, from what I can remember, of the White Guard. Is that what they're called? The White Guard in Lord of the Rings? The Gondor unit? Or Defenders of the White Tree, or whatever they're called? I can't even think of their names. You get what? Once you play so many fantasy games, it all sort of meshes together. Like it's the whole what's in Skyrim? Is it Riverrun, Riverhold, Raven Tree? I couldn't even tell you. It all just sort of mashes. There's a Riverrun in Lord of the Rings. It all sort of just mashes together sometimes for me. But looking at the casualties sustained and casualties inflicted, we deployed 567, losing 212, and Black Bog 907, losing 637. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, the White Lions ran down a lot towards the end, 183. Eltharion 39 as well. The Phoenix did really well, just like thoroughly throughout the match. The Spearman went through the ringer. We got the banner there. But overall, what I'm really impressed with early on is the Silveran Guard. They held up tremendously well. So we get a +8 speed assigned for the unit. The only thing we've got which is quite mobile now, that we probably need to get in and out, is the Arcane Phoenix. So let's execute the captives. We don't need the replenishment. We want to try and eliminate Black Bog and his clan. They have taken southern Ivres. We've also got Salt Spike on the coast as well we have to deal with. Alrighty, let's dive into the unassigned skill points for Eltharion and see what we're working with. So we've won the first initial battle. So we have Epithosis here, Saw Player. I think earlier on getting the campaign movement is key. Being able to traverse the campaign map, you can't really go wrong for that. But there are some of the new traits. I've also been... Oh, okay. A Lawmaster of Hoeth. Caval. That's an interesting name for a starting hero. Because, if I'm not mistaken, Eltharion does look a little bit similar to Henry Cavill. Anyway, maybe I'm reading into something. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Let's auto-resolve this one and get rid of... Well, Black Bog's gone. So, we lost one unit of spears. That is fine. We shall execute the captives. Now, with that execution, we don't get access to any of the prisoners. So, just for time's sake in this series, I want to have a big battle, big siege. But you're probably better off trying to snatch up as many small minor lords as you can. Let's move back to Tor Ivres to replenish and recruit. And now we've got another point here, so let's go into that. Let's go with... So he's actually got access to Spirit Leech. He can damage walls as well. That's going to be vital in the future. We obviously want to go down a Mortal at somewhat, but let's go with Spirit Leech just to mix things up. We can't recruit anything just yet. We do have some new regiments of Renowned as well. We can't get any heroes. We want to try and get mages eventually. Oh, but we can recruit Archmages straight up. Huh. Princes and Princess. I don't mind the dual wielding, like the double capacity of princesses. I think I'm going to go with an Archmage. I think we should get a Fire Mage or a Heavens Mage earlier up. But let me know what's your favourite law of magic in the comments. Yeah, I think going with fire is the play. Yeah, let's go with fire. So, what are the basically negative or positive modifiers we can have access with? I guess it kind of depends who has the worst one, because we might just sort of get RNG'd a bit here. Missile, research, minus that is terrible. -5 research. What was the other one? Missile, building cost. I think I'm going to go with the building cost because these guys are going to be fighting in the field. They're not necessarily going to be in settlements. He's not even in one for now, but maybe it's because it's local. We'll get some new ranges as well. There's some of the new units we have access to. It's also a new model. How brilliant does that look? Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. We are turn 2 in our campaign. Now, for this first initial embargo, I can show you all the stuff with Eltharion and Grom, but can't show you Imric just yet.
Strike them down.
And I only can do 60 or so turns. But for this first episode, probably the next 2, we're probably not going to get that far. So we'll get some more rangers, spearmen and archers here, and we'll allow Eltharion to continue to push upon the initiative. So the more relations we can get with Tyrion, the better. We've got Case up to the north. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. We're going to get ready for the siege here on the coast. Tech-wise, we finally have access to Military Advancements 1. We'll be able to get that, and we'll push with 11 units now to the coast. 2 units of orc boys, 3 units of goblins, some gobos. We'll encircle for now. Can I bring any more reinforcements up? No, let's upgrade that to get some more money. Yeah, we'll just... Lothern Sea Guard. We haven't got enough for them just yet. Especially earlier on, they're going to be vital for the Let's Play. But let's just auto-resolve this one. Scenings, we've already played one earlier on, 16 men. A clear-cut auto-resolve. We can loot and occupy or occupy. As it's a elven city, we're going to try and hold. We don't want to raise it, that is. Alright. Eltharion, what are we working with here? So he does have Tempest, Soul, Quench, Shield of Sathari. So he does have some low, limited magic earlier on. But maybe in the future, if there's mods and stuff, you could really spec him how you like. We are using the, of course, vanilla version of the Warden and the Paunch. And now we have the entirety of Northern Ivresse. Command-wise, growth, especially earlier on, but if we get into an economical crisis, it might be better off getting to the trade, once trade gets flowing, and the tax rate as well. But growth and taxes, take your pick. I think growth earlier on. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. Turn 5 in our Let's Play. The green skins have moved up an army, but there's also an agent there of the vampire counts. Or the vampire counts as vampires, I guess. Alright, let's push further south. We can nearly hit you, Thompson. You're lucky there, mate. We could maybe do some action with our Lord Master. We've got some Sea Guard coming on the way as well. Arrhenius Salt Spike is coming. Okay. We'll send our Fire Mage to try and intercept Salt Spike. I guess we're probably gonna defeat poor old Rich Thompson here. Quickly wipe him out. A decisive victory. Because we want to try and get another battle here today. We'll push down and take our first province in. Southern Ivresse. We've unlocked a right as well, and we've sent Rich Thompson back to the depths he's came.
Vengeance for Moranian.
Okay, so this is going to be a long, arduous and bloody siege. We're going to need some siege equipment to help us out in this one. We are most definitely against... Oh, Black Bog's back! Great to see ya! Licking your wounds in the south.
Salt and blood.
Salt Spike wants peace. Rejected.
Big as an orc.
Grom the Paunch.
Boys,
3 settlements down in the south. I've got a blood feud against you. I'll never accept it, but I'm just sort of curious if the AI want to parlay. Okay, so my battering ram has now been constructed, and let's have the siege of Southern Ivresse. Greeblitz, Black Bog, once again, we're going to be fighting. So, looking at our army build, we have 3 units of new Lothan Sea Guard, 4 basic archers. We've still got our Arcane Phoenix and our War Lions. Got some rangers here as well. And we're going to be sieging a elven city. Here is the army roster for Tour Ivresse. Here are the rangers as well. We haven't seen them in the campaign. From what I can remember, I can't really remember the rangers on the tabletop version of the game. They must have been in some other version. But here's the battering ram. Looks really, really cool. And once again, we have the war lions here. If we can sort of flank, get them to enter the city, they'll cause havoc. And there's once again Guy Fawkes. Alright, let's get ready to move up. So, potentially keeping you here. So I want to get all my archers to group up, because I want them to be able to be hidden in the forest for now. Arc their shots, nice, up and over the wall, and try and pierce and isolate units in one volley. Because in the future, we want to have an abundance of Sisters of Avalon. We'll try and break everyone up where we can. I think pushing everyone in one huge, massive assault is the play. As we are playing Total War Warhammer, of course, all of our units have access to ladders to push and siege the fort. So push, man! Let's defeat the greenskins here today. If we can throw them back into the sea from whence we came, we'll honour my father and brother, because they actually were killed against Grom the Paunch. That's why he has a massive blood feud with him. Eltharion, the young, ambitious prince of Tor Ivresse, went sacking and fighting in Naggarond. Actually managed to break his way through in the siege of Naggaroth, but unfortunately was injured by a Dark Elf assassino. And by the time he fled back, he had a vision of his father in a sort of worrying, foreboding dream. Saw the ghost of his father and said, Grom the Paunch has rocked up and he's cut off my head. come and save Tor Ivresse. And by the time he got back there, Grom the Paunch, with this huge, absolutely massive war, had somehow gotten to Ulthuan. Now, if that was to ever happen again, we have to unite the 10 kingdoms, inner and out. All High Elf kingdoms must bend to Eltharion. I'm sure Tyrion's not going to like that too much, but we'll have to see how we go. But, yeah, it's really interesting how the Greenskins actually got to Ulthuan, because they have so many wards and magical properties and sea beasts, like, defending it. But, yeah, somehow the Greenskins managed to do it. They fluked it. So we're up on the walls here now. Fighting gobbos and boys where we can. My archers seem to be doing their work. They're actually... what I'm doing is I'm trying to get 7 of my units to try and focus and isolate individual units, just to try and wipe them out. If we can manage to... Oh, we're going to need... Yeah, because we're going to need to get a Lithanar on our team as well. So we'll try prioritize. I think confederating with Eltharion, the other queen, getting those Sisters of Avalon early is definitely the play. Then maybe a Lithanar. We do have the intrigue buff, so we can use that, because he's got some absolute crazy archer buffs. We're definitely going to need that in the future. And then we'll try to get Tyrion and maybe some of the other inner and outer kingdoms. So, just trying to keep my archers on the left here away from their arrow towers. My Phoenix has done alright, just kind of kiting and dragging arrow fire away from melee units, which are going to do most of the fighting and the dying. The front gate has been breached, and we shall try and push in and attack where we can. My Arcane Phoenix is up and over the walls now, and we'll try and drop various magical bombardments where we can. Arcane Phoenix holding well. Okay, just continue to try and get you up and over. You still seem to be arcing your shot well, which is great to see, and you haven't taken too many casualties. Push over here. They've nearly been depleted. Okay. Man, my Phoenix is wrecking shop. So overall, we're still winning. I'd say probably 60 our favour to their 40. My men are slowly but surely pushing up and over the enemy lines, but this is going to be a tough one. We're going to be fighting to the bitter end, but it's going to be worth it. So let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. Do you agree or disagree with my strategy? I think uniting off one's definitely the play. Then pushing either south into the Badlands against Grom. Or maybe we should go on an expedition to Nagaron. But uniting Ulthuan sometimes can be, well, easier said than done. But depending on how well this series does, I would like to do a Warden the Paunch campaign. Maybe after this Eltharion one. Or potentially an Imric as well. So we've nearly managed to win on the walls. The gateway is quite literally a meat grinder here. Those river trolls, gobos and boys are holding us in their place. The only siege progression we have really had is actually on the walls itself. Okay, we should be able to get Black Bog here now though. Okay, the enemy lord is now wounded, so let's hope that goes through. Because we killed him in time. Oh! We killed and caged him in time on the battlefield. But it looks like now, with the fall of Black Bog, the enemy are in a full retreat. They're going to flee back to the town centre. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, the rangers did most of the work there. My spearmen actually didn't do too bad. I'd be curious to see what they inflicted. So let's try and meet up A rendezvous in the town square. Get my archers in as well. They didn't suffer too many casualties. I think hugging sort of the left, just try. What you want to try and do is try and divert arrow tower fire where you can. Some of the siege maps are more easier to sort of cheese and move arrow fire away from than others. This wasn't too bad of a one for an aggressive siege, but their numerical supremacy is really blobbed us down there. If we didn't target and finish off Black Bog, it could have very well been a different story. Some of the orcs are standing still and defiant, holding up quite well. They're dragging this siege out. The more they do so, the more arrow fire can rip into us. And our white lions there have been shown who the true king of the jungle is. Overall, in this first episode with the war lions, I haven't been overly impressed. They just seem to be routing a lot more. They lost half of their casualties in the first fight, and now they've been routed in this. You really need to allow them to be hammer and anvil flanking units. To be fair, in that first fight they were blobbed down quite significantly by spider hatchlings and riders. In this one we've been told them to push an aggressive siege, so you have to use them in a very specific situation. But Eltharion I'm really impressed with as a fighter and a sort of low limited mage. I really like him. Eltharion lore-wise is one of the coolest high elf. I think the high elf lore is probably one of the high elves are easily my favourite faction. Warhammer 2. I just love their lore so much. Eltharion as well, the prince that was promised, who had his home taken from him, and his shadow walkers and stuff, and even Tyrion is quite likable as well, even in name. The last season, just the name Tyrion reminds me sourly of the last season of Game of Thrones. Oh god. Alright, let's allow my Phoenix there to try and run them down. And now we're in the town square. We want to try and initiate the countdown. We want to try and run down as many of them as possible. Get those chevrons up nice and high, because we're going to need quite a large and solid top-notch army, and we're going to need a high-ranking Eltharion as well. You want to try and level up your lords as much as possible to deal with the final battle, because, well, nearly, I think every campaign usually has a final battle now that you have to play. The Marcus Wolfheart Hunter and the Beast one was quite difficult. Playing as the Empire and Lizardman, of course. But let's end that one there. Oh my god, what a close one that one. It was a prolific victory. Or horrific. We lost 1,377. We deployed. Leet. Oh no, that's not leet. It's 1337 is leet, not 1377. So not leet. or it'll be let. Let. Okay, well, we lost 780. Yeah, they outnumbered us quite a bit. By about 700 in a defensive siege as well, along with arrow towers. So, a little bit of a tough one to take. We've been victorious. Our White Lions took a battering along with the Rangers. What did well? 164 with the Phoenix. The Lawmaster did better than Eltharion. My Silveran Guard. Whoa, okay. Being aggressive, they did well. They did nearly as well as Rangers. Although the Lothern Guard and some of the archers weren't asked to go full of aggressive and attack. Orc boys did well. But this should be the last of Grey Brit's Black Bog. The stench of dung piles I already smell. But we've been victory here today against this minor green skin tribe. Okay, guys, welcome to the campaign map. So that was a close one. We only lost one unit, 1.3k. I'm happy with that. We only get 1k if we sack it. We loot and occupy. -10. We're going to be sitting here for quite some time, though. Don't want to raise. Oh, you get warden supplies if you raise. That's another way to get it up as well, because you need to get to 100 blessing, but to get more, you have to get warden supplies. So Black Bog has been captured. He's successfully captured one of the enemies. He's been detained in Eltharion. Rightio. So we finally have access to a prisoner held in the old Fortress Eltharion. So here is Black Bog, of course. So we can indoctrinate, which steals finances. We get influence and warden supply as well. We also get campaign line of sight in the character's region, so you can indoctrinate him, or you can execute. You can't interrogate until you unlock that which you spend into. But I'm going to execute Black Bog to get the 8 influence next turn, the 3 warden supplies, and we also get a whopping 500 experience for Eltharion.
The Warden's duties are not for the faint-hearted, but you have done what is necessary and taken action against...
Okay, so what should we go for now? Training grounds, blessing, the halls of the Durazor or something.
There is no duty.
Let's just go with the Walker, the Mist Walker command post.
Eradicate greenskins.
Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. We skipped a little bit ahead. It's 10 turn in our Let's Play. We still need to continue to push south and unite the entire province of Southern Ivres. With the death of Black Bog, the greenskins are on the back foot. Let's try and finish off these gobos. Oh, so the army outside that was protecting them has run away. So they got 2 in operation now. Oh, that's typical. A goblin running away with its tail between its leg. The coward. We lost 1 unit of rangers, which is unfortunate. But a decisive victory, only 200 men overall. We've taken Karin Thel, and now Black Bog's faction is slowly but surely running away. Let's... we could build a watchtower, get walls eventually. We want to try and get walls in every city eventually, but I think a gold mine. We have access to a gold mine there, really? Okay. Let's go with public order. Salt spikes to the north there, which we need to keep an eye on. And we'll try and push south as well. Okay. So the goblin that fled has run back into us. And we're going to be able to finish him off quite easily. Quest issued. Helm of Ivres. So once we unite the provinces, we can get that. One of the 3 legendary items that Eltharion has at his disposal. And we've destroyed the faction. Fantastic. Let's move back to replenish. Alrighty guys, well, unfortunately on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 1 of my Total War Warhammer Warden and the Paunch DLC campaign, playing as the High Elf Eltharion. Got to say a huge thank you to the Creative Assembly for sending me a early access copy of Warden the Paunch and making this Let's Play possible. It will be available to Australians on the 22nd of May. As I live in the future, depending on where you live in the west of the globe, you might get it a day or so earlier. So huge thanks to them. Stay tuned for episode 2 tomorrow as we continue to unite Ulthuan, the 10 kingdoms, and continue to destroy greenskins, always remembering, never forgetting my blood feud with the South. Grom the Paunch, Grom the Fat will be destroyed. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.